Hi guys, Nicholas here from the Southern Islands, and today we have an exclusive interview with Athavan, the new Pokemon TCG Malaysia Championships 2022 winner. Congratulations!
Thanks a lot, bro.
Fantastic win, man! Fantastic win. For some of the newer players who've just come into the game who don't know exactly who I most of us know who you are lah, but could you maybe give a short your past achievements?
I started like I've stated before, exactly 10 years ago.
Yes. Oh, congratulations,
So
10-year
yeah, it's
anniversary.
a
Like I heard, it's like
it's a
about
decade.
exactly right.
Yeah, it's a really big achievement because it marks a decade of Pokemon in a really good way.
Yep.
So I started on when I was 2012, but
Mm.
I played in an official tournament in 2013.
Okay.
Sorry, I played on 2014. Yeah,
Ah,
for national.
Malaysian nationals
Two
at the time.
years. Yes, Malaysia national. 2 years. It was all funky decks. Like all those common uncommon cards kind of deck. There's
Oh.
no rarities. So it was fun place. Then I played national
Yep.
like first event was national itself. Almost top cut. But the person to stop me on my hot run was Armani himself.
Oh wow.
So
Seriously,
we were
Armani?
on a win. We were in a win and in kind of situation. And he really just trashed me. He there was no mercy. Like cause my deck wasn't like it was a top tier deck, but it wasn't like top tier list. Like
Mm.
instead of Tropical Beach, which I can't afford,
Yeah,
and
I
I
think
didn't
no
even
one
know
could
about it
afford lah.
actually. That's how little info I knew about Pokemon that time.
Mm.
I didn't know Tropical Beach existed, so I played this thing called Battle City. It's
Yeah.
like per turn you roll a dice and get. So everyone first thing is like everyone's like, wait, what? Are you playing Battle City in a Black Kyurem kind of deck thing? And I lost to him really badly at that point. But I think that's when the motivation started to, like, okay, we should go competitive a bit more, start getting things serious and stuff. So I think on the following year itself, I top four on Indonesia regional. That's
Okay.
when I started my whole idea of creating rogue decks. Like
Mm.
I've never been a person who wants to play meta decks actually. So
Yep.
try to do something funny. It really relaxes me, like makes me play abnormally actually. So I created Sesame Toad Bats before it got famous actually at that point of time.
Okay.
And
Wow.
that year I qualified for Worlds, but I didn't have the capital to go
Mm.
there
You have
actually.
a
So
chance to go
I
lah
was
that
like, okay,
time. Yeah.
at least I knew I qualified for Worlds, and
Yeah.
knowing that my deck idea, the key component actually made to the finalists of Worlds Championship actually.
Yes, it
Because
did. Yeah.
that year was Keldeo Blastoise versus Toadbats.
Mm.
So it was a big thing. Like, hey, dude, I don't know, maybe it just got famous because I remember Indonesian player called Martin Santoso getting the idea from my list after
Yeah.
winning the Indonesia top four. So uh, from there, 2017, I made it to top 32 OCIC,
Wow.
and 2019, I made it to top 64 NAIC.
Mm. The North
So I
American
qualified.
International Championships are for
Yes.
people who are not sure.
Ec-
Yeah. In the
Yeah, I mean,
US.
it's Oceania International and North America
Yep.
International, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
correct. So that was the progress I had, but there's a lot of failures and trial and errors for every journey lah on that point of time.
I think your love for the game, until now you haven't give up.
It
You're
was
still playing
crazy.
the
Yeah, it
game.
was crazy actually, and because every time I lose, it was actually it wasn't like demotivating. It was more like, oh, it's exciting because it's not about like for rogue decks, it's not about winning something
Mm.
100%. It's about the thought of you can actually beat a meta deck with
Yep.
really really uncommon stuff, and that's a different kind of feelings.
I think
So
that's really a
yeah, and
dream of like a lot of players lah.
yeah,
So like
exactly.
really like
Especially
shape the
on
meta that way.
2019, my deck was I created this deck called Albatross. Shout out to Clifton for naming
Oh,
it
Clifton,
Albatross. But
yes.
yeah, I created like while we were like just lying on our beds, and I was doing it on PTCGO. I was like, hey, I love Tapu Kokos. I love to play with damage counter. I love a lot of mathematical kind of gameplays. So
Yep.
damage moving and stuff. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna create a Tapu Koko spread deck kind of thing, and he saw it, and first time he acknowledged, dude, this is actually a fun idea if we can really work around.
Mm.
And he brought it to a whole new level. I top 8 on League Cup with the deck,
Yep.
but I met him on top 8 itself, and he knows in and out about the deck, so he knows how to counter it.
Mm.
And then a few of them brought it into EUIC and top 10 in EUIC as well. So And also I had an acknowledgement from Takuya Yoneda himself, telling, hey, this is a nice deck, and that's the fun of playing rogue decks, and that's how far 3 times I qualified for Worlds, including this year actually. Yeah.
Fantastic. Again,
Yeah, that's
congratulations
good.
once more.
Thanks
Congratulations.
a lot, bro.
Okay,
Yeah.
so speaking of rogue decks, once again, another rogue deck. This time, Arceus with Lucario VSTAR that I hear we are calling it the Macha deck.
Yeah.
Okay, just for everyone who's watching, we in Malaysia, Singapore, and Philippines, we have to submit our deck list for the championships on April 22nd. So that means, I believe that was right when EYC was like day one just
Way
happening and
before,
all
yeah,
that.
I think 2 weeks before EUIC itself.
Yeah, so we
Yeah.
had to. So it was like this deck is not influenced by any like winning deck that was out that's been out for the past few weeks. So this is deck
Correct.
that Athavan has came up with. Maybe I know you've spoken it on the live stream of the Malaysia Championships with Aaron Minjun and Devon. But
All right.
maybe you could tell me a little bit, tell us a little bit more about how the matcha came about.
All right. So, first thing, the idea of playing Lucario is because I honestly, at first wasn't having any thoughts of qualifying to Nets in the first. I mean, for
Huh?
Malaysian Championship in the first place. Yes. Uh, I wanted to play something to just tribute to my best friend Shane.
Oh, shout out to
He's
Shinji.
a diehard lover for Lucario, and he's one of the best player that I know personally for
Same here,
Malaysia
bro.
actually and worldwide. And he's one of the reason why I really got into this game and more, really pumped up on the game because always we have a rivalry going on, playtest or even in competition. We love each other, but we also, like make sure that we don't give chance to each other
Yeah,
when it
pushing
comes
each
to
other to the
competitions.
limit
Yes.
lah.
Yes, even like Shane, not for a second allows a simple win for me. He won't say like, you can take the win. No, unless it means nothing.
Mm.
But he always makes sure that I earn it, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. So but in practice, same thing. He always says like, dude, I don't know why I can't win you in practice because he learns. We both learn with each other all these things. So I really wanted to dedicate a deck. Since he's away right now in Singapore for work purpose and he's
Yep.
not joining competitions as of period, I think. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just go play. And second idea was I want to go out for a vacation. So which is why I chose Penang for those who think why did I go all the way to Penang? I
Yeah.
wanted to not play with my own friend and um I don't want any hard feeling denying or getting denied by them for a chance to get to the qualifier two or the top eight itself. So I thought maybe play somewhere where I don't meet my friends,
Yeah.
and at the same time have fun. That's
Yeah.
Pokemon about have fun. So I went to pick up my friend from KLIA, Armani, my
Shout out to
brother,
Armani as
right?
well. I
Yeah,
think I
he's
think you and me know that when it comes to Pokemon, I think like the one who has the biggest love for Pokemon lah.
Yes, he is. He's crazy for Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
It's like when someone talks about Armani, the first thing pops out in mind is Pokemon,
Yeah, exactly. Like the
right?
moment I
He's
fly back down
love,
to
yeah.
Malaysia, the first one to call me to play cards.
Correct.
Armani.
He's one legendary player. He has been years. I think at least more than a decade in
Yeah.
Pokemon itself since a kid. I think 2 decades already by now. I think so. So um, he came back from his work purpose
Yep.
to back from Kelantan. So I picked him up and it was like midnight kind of thing. And then we were like, let's go grab a coffee at Starbucks and then like probably think about ideas for national, I mean Malaysia Championship.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, Lucario is out and I want to create a Lucario deck. And he's like, okay, just do you have the cards? I said it's out. Let me go get the boxes. I bought the box. I went straight with him, did pack openings with him, and I was like, here, what's the current meta for Malaysia? And he was like, Mew. And then I'm like, how about Arceus? He said, yeah, there's Arceus and Mew. And Gengar was really famous, my favorite Pokemon. But I was like, I'm not going to be biased on the meta because I know
Yeah.
that's a meta already. So I don't want to play Gengar because the
Yeah.
meta.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? Let's create Lucario with Arceus, And he's like, yeah. And then we did some deck idea. Then he said, but how are you going to counter Mew? And then I was like, what's Mew weakness? Is it psychic? And he's like, dude, it's dark. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, so last time
Yeah,
psychic
last time it was
Pokemons are weak
psychic.
to
Yeah.
psychic, right? So I told him, okay, then what dark mons are really good? Because I knew Gallery Moltres V was there. I completely forgot about Hoopa.
Mm.
never in my life I thought about Crobat VMAX. All right. So the initial deck idea did not have Crobat VMAX actually.
Okay.
So we came up with Crobat. Crobat was never an attacker in the first place. It was just Hoopa and Moltres V. It was
Yep.
two Moltres V, but he said why not play Hoopa because you can counter Urshifu with
Yep.
Psychic, right?
Yep.
So I was like, all right. And then he's like, let's throw some Dark in, and then let's throw that in, this in, and then we were like, okay. And then we look at the deck and we were like, let's put it on a test. First run, it was bad.
Oh.
And then he refined the deck. Yeah, he refined the deck, and we focused on consistency.
Yep.
All right, because consistency is king
Yes,
for
that's
Pokemon.
that's the law, man.
So
That's the law.
exactly, and we make sure that supporter count is just enough. You know, the probability of growing into a support or an energy is right.
Yep.
And then we played against Mew, and I don't know why we played about 6 games and we won 5 out. I won 5 out of 6, and he's like, I think we made a really good deck. Then he tried out with Arceus and Gengar. There's no way it's going to stand a chance for that part because most of it didn't play Dunsparce at that time period.
Yes.
So we created a deck, and then I saw there's Hoopa, like the Indian kind of Pokemon, and then there was Black Dude Moltres over there, and then Lucario with the brown background. I'm like, dude, this is so Indian, man. And then the guy like, yeah, man, this is like Macha, and I'm like, it's the Macha, bro. You know, this deck is gonna be the Macha deck because it's so Indian looking and stuff. And we tested it out, and then as time goes, baby Malama deck was famous.
Oh yes,
So-
it was, yeah. Started coming up.
So
with popularity.
correct. So Darren, who was our commentator for Pokemon,
Yep.
also good player. He was initially already using Crobat VMAX in his deck, and he told me, Amani, and he actually told me like, why don't you consider Crobat VMAX because it has that attack where it switches, right? So I could utilize with that to take advantage with Malama,
Yep.
and naturally it'll become a more stronger Mew counter. The deck will be like even more stronger. So I said, you know what? Okay. So I took out, if I'm not mistaken, Oranguru initially. I had Oranguru. I took out Oranguru for the Crobat VMAX.
Okay.
Only reason because I know I wouldn't start with Crobat VMAX. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, if it was a basic, I might have not considered anything else. So that's how the deck came to be actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So I've got a few questions for the deck because as you Southern Islands, we are competitive Pokemon TCG news website, so we need to talk about deck analysis a bit.
Sure.
Why 1/1 Bibarel and like only one Crobat? Is that enough draw power? Would the deck be clunky?
Okay, because I actually increase the number of supporters that like a lot of people
okay.
play Palpad, right?
Yes.
And
Because
they
they're
count
playing
they
Inteleon, ma,
actually,
yeah.
they actually play a lot of one-off supporters as
Yep,
well. I
yep.
saw the meta, so I didn't go for many one-off supporters.
Okay.
And the only one-off supporter that wasn't a draw power was my Raihan,
Mm.
and boss order as naturally have to be there.
Yeah.
I already had 3 Marnie, 1 Judge, and
Yes.
3 Professor Sycamore.
Yes.
Professor
Professor Research now,
Research.
yeah. But
Yeah.
same lah, same
So-
effect.
Correct, including with Luminion and Starbird ability.
Yep.
So I thought I'm pretty sure I'm drawing at least in the 7 cards. There's a very high chance to draw into a draw power.
Okay.
So that's the main thing because I have Ultra Ball, there's 4 Ultra Ball, 4 Quick Ball. So the search engine is right there already. So I thought, okay, in consistent wise, there's enough ratio to pull in a consistent deck because the deck did not break. Like it was a 15%, 20% kind of break that was really bad kind of break.
Okay.
Only once or twice it happened entire tournament actually in qualifier 2. That's the
Oh,
only time my
okay.
deck break. Yes. Other than that, it never break actually.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
yeah, I think that's what. Yeah. So I really didn't feel that it was clunky at all. It was just nice for the deck to have everything as it
And,
is.
I mean, you spoke of Judge, right? And that cool looking HGSS Judge, right? So
Yeah.
why Judge?
So the main reason was I was a former judge. You know. So I told Mani, I'm gonna play judge because I used to judge. You know, like it has to have a signature thing that I used to judge kind of thing. And then Mani said, yeah, it's actually a good card to play because at that time, Mew played Rotom Phone, if
Yep,
I'm not
yep.
mistaken, and they always put a card on top to make sure if we Marnie, then you know they
Get the
would
stadium
go
they need
for
or what,
they
yeah,
get
to
the
cover part,
stadium or
yeah.
they would get a supporter or whatever they need to bump the stadium and stuff. So I said, oh, okay, then that makes sense. And it's a draw power. It
Yeah.
was an additional draw power, so why not, right? And the HGSS was if I'm not mistaken, I think I bought it from Ethan or Bert,
Wow, so
one of the
long ago,
OG.
man.
Yes,
That's so
OG
long
guys.
ago.
So I was like, you know what, this looks cool, so I'm gonna keep it. That's the reason I'm like, I'm
Signature
gonna
card
keep
lah.
it.
Signature card.
Yeah, exactly. That's the one card that's always been with me because I was keeping it in a different album, and then only for that tournament I
Took
took it
out.
out. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's why I played Charge. Yeah.
One more very interesting addition that I think is not popular anymore now, which is Collab Stadium. So
Yeah.
maybe you could tell me like a little bit into your insights why Collab Stadium.
Okay. Basically, Suicune was still famous at that point of time, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
yeah, we're talking. We again, guys,
So
we're talking to like April 22nd as well, like 1 month
yes,
ago.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So, basically, I thought playing three part would be like maybe if opponent plays three part and I play three part, one part down and will never start.
Yep.
So I wanted a stadium first to bump away the part so that I could starboard. That's
Yep.
first thing. Second thing is to something that would really benefit. So as I was thinking, as going in progress, I kind of wanted to play mind game with
Oh,
players
okay.
who take advantage or punish for misplays that they overlook, such as Arceus deck mainly. So Arceus deck always have dance pass, right?
Yep.
And I play dance pass. So there was one of the qualifier where I started with a dance pass actually.
Yep.
So my opponent didn't put dance pass. He was playing Arceus. And what happened was after I retreat, I set up my Lucario on second turn. I bumped my dance pass with my collapse stadium,
Waliao.
leaving him with two Arceus on the board and a full Lucario, and he discarded his dance pass.
Yeah. Wow, this is some big brain
So
play. Ah.
yes, that was actually something that I wanted to do even in national because I saw on my what is it round my the first game itself. That means
Yep.
my the top 8 part the first Swiss itself. I went against Arceus Intellion with Eric, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wanted to actually do that, but
On
he
camera.
somehow always kept on putting his dance pass down.
Yeah.
And on the third game, he prized his dance pass, which was like
Perfect
awesome.
already. Yeah. Smashing
Correct.
into him lah.
So
I think
that's the
one
main
biggest
reason
reason
why
like
Collab
people
Stadium.
playing dance pass, it gets one card in the prize. Like, people are scared. Like, why
Correct.
should I play fighting Pokemon? But if you have that one
Correct.
dance pass out on the prize, or like in your case, outplaying the opponent, so that the
Correct.
dance pass
That's the main.
started.
Yeah, that's a very good. Like, and it also stops certain mons like if they can't push like Mew.
Yeah.
If they only put one Mew and they don't have any other Mew and you lock them and they don't have, if they play only Pumpkaboo and they can't put Pumpkaboo down to pump the stadium,
Yeah.
they only have one attacker now on the whole board.
There's the Collab Stadium really makes
Yes.
a lot of
It does a lot of difference. Even sometimes it does better than the part at times actually. So I was like, yeah, okay, that's fine. Sadly, I couldn't use it at the championship at all. So
Yeah.
that's why nobody know that I played Collab Stadium actually.
Speaking of the championships, I just want to maybe could you give the viewers an insight to how would you say use the deck in a game against Mew, for example, or Arceus?
Alright, as for Mew, frankly speaking, is gonna be an upper hand for anyone who starts first.
Yeah.
So why? Because when if I go first and I would try to set up, I will normally put a bench,
Yep.
Arceus down, and one Arceus in the front, or one prize Pokemon, especially
Yeah,
a
yeah.
Bibarel or a Dance Pass,
Yep.
and like 2 1 prizes. So if they escape rope, I'll just give them the one prize.
Yeah, so they can Melueta
So
take
it makes
the prize
them,
lah.
it makes the mats bad for them as well.
Yep.
In that meantime, I could actually play with the Dark Mons I can prepare for my Arceus to come by. Following turn, boss order, kill something for 2 prizes, set up the Dark Pokemons, and that's game set match right there. The moment if I set up at least one Dark Pokemon by killing one more,
Yep.
it's already game set match because I can really utilize on other stuff with Raihan and everything in the deck.
Yeah.
And if Mew starts first, it's a bit iffy if you don't instead of going to just like attack or trinity charge only, you need to play a lot of stalling. For example, you need to try to get your part. You need to make sure you try to what is it, set up dark mons like
Yep.
Moltres V, uh uh and also Hoopa down, so that you can retaliate if they were to hit you
They'll hit you,
with
then
the
you
with
can
the
come
yeah.
out via Han and
De-
back.
Definitely, yeah, correct. So it's not normally that if they start first they could win. It's just that at times the draw power won't be there for them to win it on
Okay.
that point of time. Like, yeah, that's the thing.
That's some
Especially when you
that's
judge,
some really great insight,
especially when
man.
you judge and part, it
Yeah,
could
now really
really you
stuck
could
with a new
instead
player.
of Marnie part, you judge part. It can be really little for them. They
Yeah.
can't phone, and they can't do their Genesex abilities. So yeah, that cripples a lot. The Mew matchup is actually very good for this deck.
Yep.
It
And like
was
for
meant for Mew matchup.
in like mirror matches, like say against the straight Arceus Inteleon,
uh, it all depends also on how well they could set up. Like
yeah,
for Inteleon decks, it's consistent after the second or third round.
yeah,
So you just want to utilize on setting up and do the Lucario play, because Lucario can handle things by itself. As
yeah,
long as you have Lucario, you got Aura V-Star. You don't really need to Starbird. You can actually put down the part, and if they only played like 3 part, they don't have the training card or they've discarded training card, you can punish them from not Starbirding,
yeah.
and instead you can use your Aura V-Star to take them down. Because if they have two energy itself, you're doing 280 already without the I mean if you put the DTE, then it's
Yeah,
260,
DT,
but
yeah,
normally you go for a choice band and
yeah.
you hit it. Yeah, and thing.
Strongs, yeah. Really, really,
Yeah.
really, this homebrew deck really, I think, like took a lot of us by surprise that you were like,
Yeah, I mean, like I honestly did not know that it's going to make it this far,
yeah,
because I always when I entered, when the UIC came out, I
yeah.
remember. I mean, I got to know that Arceus Urshifu was there, right? And
They started
that
getting
is actually
popular
a bad
after that,
matchup.
yeah.
That was actually a very bad matchup for me, to be honest, because if they sniping on the bench, it's gonna really be bad for my deck actually, and they can do instantaneous double snipes again and again if they get knocked out. So I was really hoping not to meet any Urshifu Arceus,
I think it's very uncommon,
and
right? I think not many players even played that.
because
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken, Darren himself played Arceus Urshifu
Yep.
with the Crobat VMAX tag for the
East
qualifier
qualifier.
one.
Yeah.
So knowing that a lot of people could have the same idea. Malaysians, one of the best people that I know, comes up with also rogue ideas, and they could have had a good insight before even EUIC of the Urshifu deck actually.
It's an idea, yeah.
So I was really just hoping that I don't meet up against one of it, and I was honestly hoping to see a lot of Asia's Gengar, which I didn't see at all. Yeah, because I mean, to think about it, it's actually a good deck to go against Mew.
yeah.
So I don't know how come that wasn't really famous on the qualifier 1, 2, and Nats. I mean, championship actually.
Maybe a lot of people just like, because it's a BO1 as well, right? So maybe playing it safe, you're playing a
Yeah,
safe deck.
correct.
But then you still, took that risk, in
Yeah.
this kind of like, I think, and just to
It's
deck,
actually a
brave,
setup deck. Actually, my deck isn't a really turbo deck. It's
Mm.
not meant to be turbo, but somehow it started becoming a turbo when you start Trinity Charge.
Yeah,
And then you
suddenly
have two energy, and then you have Moltres with one more energy. And the key was energy switch, which anytime I can utilize to
Yes.
put it onto another Pokemon. So I was like, okay, this is fun. And the energy switch was one of the most luck sack draw I ever did for the finals actually.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was like, because I made a misplay,
Mm.
and that was a huge misplay, and I thought I'm gonna get punished for it, but my top deck on the energy switch saved my whole game.
Yeah.
It sealed the game right there for me. Yeah.
Speaking
So,
of
yeah.
that finals as well, right? Do you have
Yeah.
any other like good memories of your whole qualifying run? Did you have like any like memorable matches?
All right. Honestly, I have one guy. I really loved his idea. So he played in Penang. I'm so sorry, bro. I honestly forgot your name.
Yeah.
So, but everyone in Penang knows him. So he came up with Arceus Raichu deck
Oh, okay.
with baby Zekrom tech, the CHR Zekrom.
Yeah, the one that paralyzes your opponent.
Yes, it was one of the hardest matchup I had. To be honest, even though it was a weakness deck, it it had it. I almost lost to him if it wasn't for top deck.
Mm.
We both like he had a bot to just win me if I don't top deck that one last boss in my deck of
Yeah.
20 cards.
Wow,
Yeah,
lucky
it
a
was
bit lah. But
like
again,
he shuffled, he cut,
Pokemon lah.
and then top deck. Yeah, so it was I won him because of pure luck, honestly, or else he could have won me. So I told him there, I told him I'll tell you here right now also, bro. If you are there, you can anytime practice with me, and you have a lot of good ideas coming in. Just keep on doing that same idea, actually,
Fantastic lah.
because
Fantastic.
that's the only one of the unique deck I met in qualifier, other than King Fire's deck himself.
Yeah,
my
Melamar
deck itself.
VMAX, man.
Yeah,
Like,
his
no one,
deck,
no one
the
can do
only
that.
the Raichu deck was, yeah, you know, the rogue deck that was existing in the qualifiers I played was his.
Mm.
So shout out to him, actually.
Okay, speaking of your deck again, Astro Radiance is coming out soon. Actually, in maybe a
Yeah.
few days, in fact.
Yeah.
Do you have like any tips, maybe any cards that you could add into your deck for Astro Radiance? Matter if like anyone would want to pick up Lucario VSTAR.
Yeah, I feel that this deck has still more potential for Astro Radiance. So I came across this card called Grand. if I'm
Oh
not
yeah, the
mistaken.
supporter card they add 30 damage for
Yeah,
fighting.
I think it's a very potential card, knowing that the next meta is going to be probably Palkia and Dialga.
Yep.
I think this card would help to counter them because they're still a V-Star, so you
Yeah.
just need to hit the 300 the 300
Yeah,
damage. So you're
10
gonna
damage
have
there. Can't-
240 already with the choice band, 270, and this
Yep.
guy or girl is gonna make it 300. So I think that's a really good card to
Yeah.
tag actually for
And
the next.
fantastic, like
Yeah.
if you use Grand, you discard 2 cards, then your people can draw
Alright.
extra card, Combat can draw extra card as
Yeah.
well.
I think you can even fetch the card back, right?
Yeah, you discard 2 cards, then you can fetch
Yeah,
the
and-
Grand back from the discard pile.
So I think that's one crazy supporter card actually. Like you're streaming. You're gonna stream.
Yep.
And honestly, if you have set up this deck, almost other cards are nothing. You can actually sacrifice them to draw this card because all you need is firepower on that later turns and everything. So I think this card might change this deck into a better deck actually.
Yeah, maybe up to tier 1 maybe, yeah? Maybe it's already tier 1
Yeah.
because it's the champion deck. It is the champion deck.
Yeah, I think I won't play it already because it might become the meta.
Yeah, now
I
you-
think
now
I
you
might
play
want to
another
come up with you.
card
Yes, now I need to counter that deck actually.
Okay,
So I
just
think
to,
that's a good thing.
I think we've like covered most of what we're going to cover lah. Just to wrap
Yeah.
up by maybe you could like, I give you this time here like and say your thanks to for reaching
Alright. Definitely. Basically, I'm gonna just thank again the players who was on the journey with me. So it's Colin, Armani, Darren, Haris, Malik, and who else do I have? Marcus.
Yep.
He was actually one of the person who always allow us to play test at his shop itself, Manhattan's.
You can go check him out, Kota
Armani.
Damansara, the shop there.
Yeah, yes, Uptown, not Kota Damansara, Uptown Damansara.
Yeah, Uptown Damansara, yes.
Go
Uptown
there, yeah,
Damansara.
come there. You guys will enjoy good food, and also he is a Pokemon player himself. So if Pokemon players were to come there, he'll be more happy to always accommodate you guys over there.
Yeah.
And anytime you can reach out to me, Amani, or any of the players that I mentioned, and also other good players. Shout out to King Five for being one of the only opponent that I always was telling to Colin. I was telling to everyone like. The moment I know he qualified top 8, I was like,
Yeah,
oh my
that's gonna be a
god, this
tough
the
opponent.
one guy I gotta watch out because given any deck, he will bring out the best play, the optimal play possible for the deck. He's formidable opponent actually. And also to Shane himself,
Yeah.
like thanks for always supporting and dude, finally I've made it to your level. I have won it and you can call me your par, alright? And yeah, family and friends definitely was there for me. And special thanks to you, Nick.
Yes.
So I'll be meeting you soon, I guess. We'll be traveling together and
Yep.
let's have fun in Worlds, bro.
Fantastic, yeah.
Yeah,
and
man.
That's a great way to wrap up this interview. I
Yeah.
will see you at London this year.
At Worlds, yeah, bro.
Then we'll definitely take our whole picture together with Malik as well, since they're all
Yeah,
in front
yeah,
together.
exactly. Yeah, I mean, this I think would be the biggest Malaysian amount of players going for Worlds. I think this is going to be one heck of a world, and I have a very good feeling this year is a Malaysian year. There's going to be someone among us hopefully it's me as well
Yeah.
to do it at least top 32, top 16 for Worlds this time. I think the team that's going is going to be very good and very strong. New players like Lau Zun, if I'm not mistaken.
Who also got the
He's
place, yeah.
Yeah, and he's going for Worlds as well, and I think he has very good potential. Like given his stat, I think a bit more experience and playtest with Among Us, I think he's gonna be really really good for the Worlds actually.
Can't wait, man. I think
So
that, yeah,
let's meet at Worlds, man.
oh sure, let's do it. Like
Yeah,
not just
let's make
yeah.
it.
I mean, not just Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines. Like, let's go lah.
Yeah,
Let's
Asia.
take a C
Southeast
region
Asia.
takeover.
Southeast Asia is
Yeah.
gonna do this time actually.
Let's show them that
So,
we have like
I'm
one
just
of the
waiting
best
for the
Pokemon.
rest of them to I'm just waiting for the rest qualifiers to get to know who are qualifying.
Yep.
And I think we can go strong on this time.
Yeah, man. Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Athavan, for
No
joining
problem,
me
bro.
today. Like this random night,
Yeah. Thanks a
Alright,
lot for the interview actually, and I hope every Malaysians you all do more rogue decks. That's what I told in my previous interview. Do more rogue decks. It's not always about meta decks. Meta decks improves your skill, but rogue decks innovates new ideas. You would be someone even if you don't win, your idea will always be continued by other professional players.
Yeah, it's an
So yeah,
inspiring
come up with
thing,
new
man.
ideas. Yeah, it's always there. Like anyone who like the first Mew deck creator, he will always feel proud because he created a deck with his idea, the Rotom Phone tag, and now even though if he's not famous, the deck would be famous.
Yeah.
So that's how it wants to be going on. Alright, bro.
Fantastic, man. Alright.
Thanks
See you,
a lot, brother.
See you, Athavan. I'll
Catch
see
you
you
up soon. Alright, see you
Okay.
guys.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.